don't.
We're getting the hang of things. I'm David Austin with davidaustingallery.com. Welcome back to, well, watercolor on the deck. It's such a lovely day. It's not too hot out, so we thought we'd come out here, and I'll show you why. Because over here, look at that over there. Plus, I'm showing off the new shirt. I painted. That's our garden out there, and usually we paint over here on the right there easel, and that's where we do a lot of our plein air paintings with our 3.5-year-old. And because we don't have a babysitter or anything, he's right there. I can see him in the living room playing and so forth. And so we're going to play around here. Normally our lives are down in the studio, which is, you know, is just full of creative stuff to play with. But I had a friend of ours send us this lovely little set of Daniel Smith watercolors, and we did a live. When did we do
God,
that?
That was Saturday.
Was it Saturday?
We kept trying and trying.
In the afternoon. Well, did we do this one in the afternoon? Anyway, it didn't save it. So we're going to try to redo another live session with the Daniel Smith watercolors. And again, thank them for that. And I'm slightly better set up than I was last time. I'm sitting kind of low. I'm not used to sitting. I'm used to
That's
sitting
why I have
above.
These pillows over here to sit on. Yeah.
Those are all wet from the...
Oh, do you want a dry pillow?
36
I'll go
No,
get you a
it's all
dry
right.
pillow.
I'll sit down here like a little kid, because, you know, creativity is about being a little kid. So I brought my other brush. So I've got a couple brushes from Princeton here, really really nice brushes, good for washes and such. And then I've got a little palette knife, 2 palette knives, and yes, I'm using that for watercolor. I've never purported to be a watercolor artist or have a lot of knowledge about it. I'm a mixed media artist, and if you check out our profile, you'll see that, and our YouTube videos, and our Facebook, and so forth. And then I have a really cheap watercolor brush here, self-filled with water. Anyway, these are really fabulous. So let's just kind of paint something and see where it leads to. And I'm going to start with that really glowy one. Remember the glowy one? Was it the nickel? The one that looked like it was going to be really ugly.
Ochre, and then it...
Look at that. It looks terrible, doesn't it? So we're going to start with that. I'm going to make like a little wash with that.
It looks terrible, but then you put it on the paper and it's luminescent.
It is. Unless it was a fluke. So there we have a little water in there. And I'm going to mix it. See, it's already better. Look at that. So if you have questions, by all means ask them. If you don't get answered, or if she has to leave for the child, check out when this is saved. This will be on our IGTV when we're done. So let's just do some nice broad strokes for a change. And I didn't mix it entirely up, and that was on purpose. But look at that. Just beautiful color. And that did not look like that. If I need to wash it a little more, I can. But look at how far the pigment's gone already. I said this last time we did this, Kristen, that the pigment load on this is so phenomenal. I didn't have to use what I did in there. That'll last me forever, practically. Well, as much watercolor as I do, anyway. It's just fun. So there's a nice base already to work from. Just really quick wash. And that's astonishing to me. So I didn't bring what am I looking for now? Oh, the charcoal. And for me, I always like to work in charcoal, so I'm going to do some mark making in here. I'm not really sure what I'm doing. It's an abstract piece. A lot of people that work in watercolor tend to be realist, I guess, right?
Generally,
At least
yeah.
Representational.
Why is that?
I don't know.
I feel like that media has been trapped in a...
I know there's, and now of course we'll get lots of messages. I'm an abstract watercolor artist.
Good, let us see your stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I'd love to see it. But I don't follow, I've been following more lately, watercolor artists. Yeah. I don't know if you noticed that in our account.
No, I'm kind of busy doing other things in the account.
So I also have been doing a lot with kind of architectural elements. If you check out some of the stuff on the profile, you'll see that. Not you, I know you've seen that.
I have seen that.
You've seen the profile. She helps manage, she does most of the management of the accounts. So I have some time to paint.
Yeah, because there's no way.
I don't know how some of you do it with manage an account and find time to create is astonishing. Okay, so we did some mark making there. And we can add a little water to make that kind of blend too. And bleed. This is the
Delta spray.
Aqua Mist.
Aqua Mist.
This is the Aqua Misting. So I just want a really watery kind of look, and then we'll start adding some more color to it as well. I like the fuzziness of it. And what other one did we not try? We didn't try the magenta last time, did we?
I don't remember. There was a lot going on that day.
I don't remember either. We've got Moon Glow. And then, ooh, the red gold. That was fun. We're going to use some red gold in here. Put a little dab, because it doesn't take much.
Hi, Shabana. Nice to see you today.
And I think I'm going to use a smaller brush here. Pick up some water. Pick up some nice color. And I'm just going to wash in here, getting some of the dirty stuff too.
Do you want to speak up a bit? I'm not sure anybody can hear you too well.
Oh, I don't know. I shouldn't whisper so much?
Yeah. For some reason, the camera microphone is coming this direction instead of yours.
Huh. I don't know why it's doing that. I don't know why that's doing that. I'm having trouble modulating the voice. What's that from? Is that from
Austin Powers.
Austin Powers?
Yeah. Hi, Maryam.
Fun with
Hola.
the Daniel Smith. I think we need some blue. Do we need some blue? We have Moon Glow, which is kind of that gray blue, wasn't it?
Oh, good. They said they can hear you.
Lunar blue.
Awesome.
Alright, so this is really wet here. I'm just going to pull this stuff right in there.
Fairfield, California. Up.
Just a bit too much I put on. I'm having trouble coming to terms with how far the pigment does go versus my acrylic painting.
Yeah. That makes sense.
So I got two colors here.
Colombia, Sweden.
I'm going to do a little bit.
Nice.
Wow, a lot of people today. Let's see. So this is a surprise session. We just felt like doing it because, frankly, I ran out of surfaces to paint in the studio today. I got ahead of myself big time. We're going to go on a little drive today and try to find some locations for some pop-up exhibits as well, because I have too much work and not enough space to show it all. All right, let's see what happens when we take the palette knife through this mess.
Oh, Iran. Hi.
How many people are using palette knives for watercolor? I asked this last time. Did anybody answer last time?
No, but it was a quiet group last time.
And this is one of the reasons I work on boards a lot, heavy boards. This is a paper it's already getting saturated because I work wet into wet, and I think that it doesn't like it when you get it too wet. It starts doing the wrinkling.
Oh, more people from Iran. Welcome.
So for some reason we're going purplish today. Just kind of dirty this corner up. I think if you have too much bright color all over the place, it lowers the intensity level of the piece. Remember what I'm trying to say? However, if you hot pink, you should definitely use hot pink. So I'm just going to put a little dab.
Free bird. Sorry.
Where did that come from?
It's a staple. Hot pink. Never mind.
Oh my gosh.
In my head, it made sense.
We'll just stay out of your head right now.
That's probably wise.
So we got the water. Just squeeze the little button and the water comes out. It's a little dirty though, so I'm going to try and purge some of that.
Welcome everybody who's just joining us. Today we are working with Daniel Smith, Jean Haynes Master Artist Watercolor Set.
Yeah, pretty awesome.
Pigment load is really heavy.
we're not necessarily sponsored by them, but a friend of ours thought we might be interested in this, and she sent us this set. She said, just try it, basically. Like, yeah. I'm not a watercolor artist, but I'm loving the. I mean, look at the vibrancy of this, and it goes so far. And I do everything probably wrong, relatively speaking, when it comes to watercolor.
You should have got the dotting tools out.
Oh yeah, I know we have. That's one of our next things actually, is the dotting tools from. I don't remember the group. Someone sent me a mandala making thing.
Mandala.
Mandala. Marabou.
Tomato. It's all kind of English.
Maybe.
Midwestern
just-
American English.
Just check out the hashtag. That'll tell you all you need to know, right?
Yeah. Welcome everybody who's just joining today.
Darken this spot up a little bit. And again, we're here instead of our studio today because
Studio is literally bursting at the seams.
it's got so much stuff in it, and we're keeping an eye on Hugo, our toddler. But we sure had fun, you and I, the other day on the plein air painting we did. And we got 2 nice pieces out of it. One of them I posted. We called it Boo. So if you want to check out the one that he and I painted together. And he really did paint the majority of the base on that. And then I did go in this week, and I altered it a little bit more. You know, added some detail work. But I tried to not adulterate it too much, you know.
Yeah, he had a very specific vision in his head when he did it, which he always does when he's drawing and coloring and painting. Don't ever try and guess what it is, because if you're wrong,
Oh yeah, it'll help.
just ask him what it is.
He has some very strong opinions. So I'm liking the layering I can do. You can see it's pooling water here, and I might just leave that alone. I'm kind of like an accidental artist a lot. I like the variation. Oh, chipmunk. Sorry, chipmunk just ran by. They chew up the yard and gardens and buildings. So we have a love-hate. They're cute and adorable until they eat something on the property, like your house.
Yeah.
Boy, that purple's really purple.
Anybody have any questions today? Anything to add?
It's kind of an abstract cityscape happening because I like that. I'm doing some inferences of depth by just adding some shadowing. So maybe the building has some depth on it. But again, I'm primarily an abstract artist, so for me, I'm interested in doing that.
There, I found your question. I somehow missed that, Shabana. Let's see.
Did you forget my
Oh, it's a hard question. I will ask him, but I don't know how cohesive his answer is going to be perfectly frank with you. How to explain abstract art? Sometimes people ask what you've made. People understand figurative, but they find abstract difficult.
Well, if you're feeling kind of surly and don't want to answer, you just tell them, well, what do you see? So you can always turn it around on them. I am surprised sometimes at the shows that we've done, particularly recently, on the recent work, how somebody definitely interpreted one of the major pieces.
Oh yeah, got
one of the
dead
big-
nuts.
Was, yeah. For those of you who don't know that term, that means they got it precise.
Yeah, sorry.
There's some people overseas might not know that term. But it just means she was very, very exact on what I had intended. It was, the title of the piece was Beyond Industrialization, which gives somebody a clue. So even though I'm working abstract, there is some representational, so there is room for interpretation. or interpolation, as the case is. And I like that. I like kind of the vague opportunity for somebody to interpret my work.
From my perspective on this question, I often feel like trying to, if they haven't asked the question, don't try to explain it to them. Handle it like you would a political conversation.
Well, I think you can. It depends on how combative they are too, you know. And sometimes you'll get this online. Particularly, some of you probably have experienced this, where you have some art that you've posted, and then you got some, as we used to call it, negative Nelly on there saying, "This isn't art. What is this?" You know, and all that. And it's best just to bow out and not even.
Yeah, don't even have the conversation.
Because they're clearly either they're deliberately trying to get a rise out of you, or they really don't understand. And you can take the opportunity to try and educate, but it's not always our job as an artist to educate people. Some people could say, as an artist, you should be educating people, your audience. Others say why you should just be presenting, and it's up to the audience, the participator, to interpret and gain what they have. The bottom line is we all have subjective opinions or subjective visual abilities. So when we look at something, it's not going to be the same as somebody else looking at it. But that's what's fun. You know, that's what's fun about abstract art, is the person, the viewer, the audience is bringing their experiences to that moment of you presenting, here's my artwork, and they're going to make it their own at that point, which to me is fascinating. I probably have over-explained this, maybe.
I don't know.
I find it really fascinating, actually. And I used to be a little more offended by some of the things that people would say about the art, but I'm really not at this point. I think you can develop a rather thick skin over time as an artist.
Must have been close enough to an answer, because she gave us 2 smiley faces.
Oh, okay. Or sometimes I completely lose people in my answers, which can in themselves be abstracted. So anyway, I've been working with a series of what I call modern archaeology, because they're often kind of ruin looking. There's arches involved a lot of times, or cityscapes combined with other kinds of references. So there's a little more representation happening in my work, and I think when you take a picture, it can be very interpretive, the picture.
Yeah.
But generally it's showing you what is, whereas the abstract, I think, is showing you what could be. I don't know if that is what I mean or not.
Yeah, she says we can say abstract art has limited admirers. Not all people understand it.
I don't understand all realism.
Yeah, me either.
I have to admit, but I love. We follow several.
Uh-oh.
Wow, there's a sudden outburst from the toddler.
What's going on? What?
I don't know what that was about. I think we need to add some happy little green to the bottom of this. We need some happy green. Add that over here to the palette. Kristen is not behind the camera, so you'll have to bear with me. I can't see any, since we're using the phone, I can't see any of your comments right now. But she is dealing with a sudden outburst from Hugo. I have no idea why. We're not supposed to know that, right? Okay, so this is a pretty loaded brush now with this is called Cascade Green. Cascade Green.
Hi, everybody. Sorry I couldn't wave. I was in the other room. Oh, thank you, Angela. Says she loves your arts.
Oh, thank you very much.
All right, today, for everybody who's just joining us, is Daniel Smith Watercolors.
I don't usually work in watercolor, so it's always a challenge to me to kind of explore, and that's what I'm doing. And I've told many of you before that I'm here to learn with you. When I get these packages, or if I buy some new product to try because I saw somebody else using it, it's I'm bringing my experiences into it, and it's a little cheaper for you. You don't have to spend the money. You can see it here first. So we've tried a number of other products too, the Marabou art crayons and the Marabou art sprays, which I'm in love with. Various acrylic paints. If you go to our GTVs, you'll see that there. Children's paints, Crayola, Sargent art, things like that we've played with. We've worked with different surfaces, mixed media surfaces and canvases. You can see that in there too. And different kinds of techniques as far as palette to brush to different other water media. So all of that is in our IGTVs. And I love to experiment and play with the materials, and I like to share that with you. I found that by accident people were enjoying some of that. This is kind of a dried brush now, and so you can see it sticking, and I'm creating some very nice strong linear marks with it, except when I end up in the...
Hello everybody who's just joining.
Look at that, we can get some nice lines from that. Yeah, I don't know how long we'll be, and you've heard now 2 toddler interjections. Hugo has opinions sometimes. So we don't have music today either because we get the waterfalls we can hear. You guys probably can't hear them, but could turn that one on, the splash pad.
Oh, sure.
You can see the splash pad maybe. It always spits, the alligator always spits right away. There it comes, it's going to spit all the way across. Oh, it didn't do it today.
Nope.
We missed it. Nice. Oh, that's some dark there, huh? The one thing that I think you can get, opaque gouache. Would be an opaque version of watercolor. So you could go over this. Watercolors by nature translucent. The gouache has a filler in it of some sort. I can't remember exactly what it is. It's probably like a talc or some sort of a fine opacifier. And that could go over this if you wanted to block out areas. I don't have any gouache. I might have some antique gouache now that I think about it from Mom.
I don't know. I didn't go through that pile.
We should go look in the pile again and see if maybe, if I can find some gouache, I'll do a demo on that. Putting that over the, that's nice. God, I just can't get over how that pigment is so strong. So I'm just picking it right up off of the paper. And this is 140-pound cold pressed paper, to answer a question that nobody had asked, but I figured I would answer it anyway.
Wow, a lot of Maryams today. It must be a popular name. Hi, it's nice to see you, Maryam. I think that's the fourth Maryam.
Right?
I don't know how else to pronounce it. I'll Google Translate it later for everybody who I'm insulting right now. M-A-R-Y-M, Maryam.
Someone can tell us if we have that right, especially the person whose name that is.
4 people whose name that is.
Wow. Are we even close, guys, on the name? I love learning new names. So, picking up that pigment with the palette knife and just working it right into other areas.
Oh, apparently it means hello.
Oh, well, hello to you. I thought it was a name.
So did I.
See, we're terrible. I'm sorry. We try our best.
Thank you for answering that non-linear.
Oh, I thought you meant like like a non-linear question or non-linear.
It's the first half of his handle.
Got it. That's cool. Non-linear debate. And there's a lot of terms
Yeah.
A great title for a piece too. So I kind of wish I hadn't done the black up there because I'm liking like this section. But I did do the black there. So this is that antique chalk we got. Actually, this is a piece I had left over. I like the contrast with the black there, with the, you got the pink, that bright pink, and then the black kind of contrasting with it. So I always go to my, let's try the actual, what did I try that blue on? Was it Moon Glow? We didn't try Moon Glow yet, did we? Let's try Moon Glow.
Iranian, well, welcome. We are in Michigan, which is in the United States.
I'm going to take and darken this area up a bit here with this, what did I call this one? Moon Glow. Very dark in its raw form, this particular one.
So fun to see people from all over the world joining these every time.
I know, right?
It's great.
One of the reasons I keep doing this, especially, you know, when we were all in lockdown, and we were too for a while, it was fun to see where people were from and feel like you're connected, you know, as a culture of artists, or art appreciators at the very least, right?
Yeah.
And for us it was really helped us be inspired and stay connected with our sanity. So that's a little dry technique. You can take this a dry area there, and it didn't blend it too much. I'm wondering how this looks in a thin. Let's just try a wash with that. That's that Moon Glow I said.
Mm-hmm.
It's so. Let's see what it does right here on the paper.
Yep, hold on.
We don't have a lot of light. It's actually overcast today.
I could turn the overhead lights on.
It's quite nice.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It almost has a interference kind of look to it. If you look at the color variation there, right? As it gets thinner. It's fascinating.
Let me turn the lights on. Hold on.
See if that makes a difference.
Might not. I've only lived here for 8 years, but I don't know which it is.
Oh man, we're in trouble now, everybody. She's doing the sing-song thing. Some of you may notice I'm wearing a shirt that seems to have had a paint explosion on it. And I started to play with direct textile painting. Not screen printing, but like one-offs. So this is literally the first one I've done. We've done screen printing before, but I've never done one that was a direct paint on. It's been interesting, to say the least. All right, what color haven't we tried? Undersea green. Did we try that? What does undersea green look like? Oh, it's so dark out of the... Oh, here he comes.
I hear pitter patter.
Pitter patter, the wee one.
Hi. I don't almost over.
Oh, okay.
So Kristen's having to run inside right at the moment. There are some super talented watercolor artists out there. And actually, if you go to Daniel Smith's website and check it out, I believe you'll see some more. And I think they have a YouTube channel, is where I ran across their ambassadors. And their ambassadors are incredibly talented watercolor artists. I mean, far more talented than me in regards to that. And this was just really about playing and learning this newer material for me. I've worked in watercolor before, but this is one of the first times that I've worked with such a high quality of watercolor. It's truly amazing how how powerfully pigmented these are. So much color in them. I am going to do this though. I'm going to do I got to do something with this really strong black piece here to kind of offset it. And even doing that helped a little bit, because before it didn't make sense visually. Just taking and adding some little gestural quality here, almost like it could be some sort of structure, buildings or something going on up here, right in with the, and the chalk is making its own mark, but it's also picking up the pigments where I left it on the paper. And now we almost have like a little house thing happening. Just nice gestural qualities. And I could do this with the watercolor. You know, I could have it, but there wasn't any black in this particular set. So I'm reverting to my old standby of the charcoal to mark make into my piece, thus creating a little bit heavier structure, because that's how I am. Most people that work in the watercolor are almost ethereal. There are exceptions to that, of course, like anything in art. Kathleen Conover is a really good example, a friend of ours. Check her out. She's on various social media. She does a lot of workshops all over the country. I think she's got a website too. Kathleen Conover. She's been in many of the famous art, watercolor, water media magazines and competitions, and just really, really talented. I was just telling them about Kristen's back, about Kathleen.
Oh yeah.
Conover and her watercolor abilities. She did. I was talking about the ethereal nature of this watercolor, and that I always want to go back to delineation. But she came to mind that she used to do stuff that was a little bit more structured with it, you know, hard lines.
Yeah,
she would incorporate into it. Pencils, and I don't know what else she was using at the time. We have several of her pieces. So without a doubt, the buildings, you were gone, and look, there's more buildings in it. I don't know if there were any questions.
Nope. Art in Peace likes your t-shirt.
Oh,
Or likes your shirt.
Thank you. We'll probably sell these. I've got a woman's blouse that I'm doing right now. Kristen likes it, so it must be great. Anyway, these will go up for sale. But we're going to start just seeing if anybody's interested in them, I guess, first.
Yes.
That's the alarm clock. Okay. Mommy. Are you an alarm clock over there, kid?
Come on. No. Daddy.
Yeah.
No, Daddy.
Alright, this is pretty interesting so far. And I'm just wondering how far I want to push this one. People always ask, how do you know when it's done? What was I forget what he said. Can't even ask it yet because Kristen's working with the toddler still. We watched a movie yesterday where someone was, I don't know if it was Gerhard Richter was asked, how does he know when it's done? I wrote it down even. This is pretty cool. When she comes back, I'm going to steal that piece of paper, and I might do a little more, just strictly doing some washes with this, so we can see what the colors are like. Okay. So this was a really fun experiment here, and I'm reaching my limit. Maybe. Oh, there's some other spot. I think I'm going to take that piece of paper from under there, Kristen,
sure.
and I'm going to set this aside for now.
But
What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through and do color swatches. Does that make sense?
yeah. Again, everybody, here's what we're using today.
Of the flowers. I almost drank my watercolor. It's in a red Solo cup. It's edible, right?
You should know better. I know better at this house, and I don't drink it unless I look at it. Or
So
I only drink out of sealed containers.
So this is the piece that we just did, real quick, to demonstrate kind of more my genre of painting. But let's go down through the list now, and we'll do quick washes on these. We'll just use this pen right here, and we'll use a little bit of the palette knife too, and just see how each one of these behaves, because this is pretty cool. And you've got to see the colors. That's why I'm doing this. So it doesn't take much. This is the Aussie Red Gold, so really fabulous. And let's take and clear this off. So we got a lot of debris in that. Actually, can you hand me the towel over there? Let's go ahead and try and. This is pretty dirty. This will taint the experiment. Maybe I can rinse it off in here. That's better. It's a little bit of yellow in it, but that's better. So let's go ahead and take this and see what it does.
Thank you for the hearts, everybody. Oh, look at that.
Aussie Gold. And that's just spreading it right out, thinner and thinner and thinner. Beautiful. Oh my gosh. The alarm clock is off. Are you set where they can see what I'm doing?
Yes. Would you like some more?
Or our phone's going crazy in there, the business line today. So let's put a little bit of this color in now. This is the Imperial Purple. I think we used that over there already. Okay, here we go. Whoa. That's very, very vibrant. Rinse my brush a little bit. Okay, we got that one down. This is the Nickel Azo Yellow. This is one of my favorites. I use that as the background there. And it comes out looking terrible. Look at that. It looks like, I'm sorry, baby poo-poo. But watch what happens. Again, absolutely phenomenal color. Add a little more water and let it. Woo! Love it. That is just fabulous. I'm going to put some down here because it's so fun. And we have Hot Pink. Sorry if some of you are bored by this, but I wanted to show these colors so badly. Amazing pigment load. Add a little more water to it. Let's see the versatility on that one. Hot Pink. Let's see, what other ones didn't I use today? Green, this one. Green Apatite, Genuine. So this is from the stone, a mineral. And this one I haven't used today. So I'm trying to kind of use some that I didn't use very much of. Let's take this. Kind of turns out really dark green. Kind of nice. I'm going to go ahead and just paint this whole side with that color. See what happens. Fun, really fun. There must be some business thing going on up there because Kristen's had to answer the phone. We have a pond building business at waterpaw.net, and so sometimes that interferes with my art. I could even pick that pigment up and still work it around. So sorry if you're asking questions. This is live right now, but when it goes recorded later, you'll be able to ask if we missed the questions right now. that makes sense. Just loving it. This is that yellow. Let's just go ahead and see what happens if I just pick up all the colors with it. Everything okay in there?
Yeah.
It's not a very convincing yeah.
Oh, it was just Logan.
Oh yeah. Our little mentoree.
He's trying to get certified, so I was just trying to help him get through the process.
Is a certified aquascape contractor.
Yep.
We mentor some people for the other company so that we can help the industry for watercolor ponds.
Hey Shabana, send us an email and talk about what you want to do. If you want to do a dual live, and we can schedule that. I don't do them on the just off the cuff because if I get interrupted, like I do, there's nobody here to control the camera.
Yeah, so we can definitely.
So just send that over via email and let's talk.
Yeah, we can work something out. So back to my standby of the chalk. I can't help myself. I love my chalk. Especially working wet into wet like this, it's just really fabulous. Now I'm going to take my finger and just kind of right up close with the tip of the charcoal. You can see my fingers kind of act as a blending tool as I go too. It creates a little more gestural look, which I really love. Love that.
Oh, I appreciate it, Shabana, but I swear 90% of the time I click like, oh, accept, and then I get a picture of somebody's ceiling and they freak out and then they get mad at me.
Yeah, we're going to be done pretty quick anyway today just because of our time limits. But we definitely will join you.
Well, no, I've been looking to doing some live collabs, so.
Yeah, it fits in with what we want to do. Okay, so we kind of have a little something there. I'm going to do my abstract language thing here. It's that, and then we got another little sentence here. That I have no idea if it means anything. It's not supposed to. It's supposed to be gibberish.
Hey, what's up?
And you're experiencing, everybody, why we're doing this on our deck. Watercolor on the deck up here, because we've been wanting to do a live and we've been pretty restricted by toddler time lately. It's pretty amazing. Just using the finger now to kind of blend a little bit, pull a little bit of that into the a lot of hacking going on over there. I always wonder how much of that is just.
Oh, so much of it is drama with him. There's one real cough and then like 10 of 10.
Father, I am the black lung.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to go any further on this as a demonstration piece either. Any last minute comments from anyone?
Oh, Shabana says you're doing awesome.
Uh-oh.
Is there anybody have any quick questions before we leave? Again, today we were working with the Daniel Smith watercolor Jean Haynes collection.
And I know they have several other collections. I'm believe, I'll just go ahead and stutter my way through. I believe they're from the ambassadors, the watercolor ambassadors.
Yeah.
That Daniel Smith has. And super talented people. Head over to their website. I don't know what it is, but you can Google it and get there. And check them out. They have a lot of videos, and the pictures are great. Their Instagram account, which we link to, is great, right? Very high quality content. So we really hadn't played a lot with this, but we'd like to thank our friend again for sending us this little set that she happened to have. It was really cool to check it out, and we can't wait to do some more. So in the meantime, everybody, keep creating, be kind to each other, be well, stay healthy. And this is David Austin with davidaustingallery.com, and that is my lovely wife and tech guru, Kristen. And the interruptus toddlerist was Hugo, our youngest son, 3.5 years old. So stay tuned. He and I are going to probably paint sometime this week again, and that's always fun. And we'll talk to you the next time. Take care. Bye-bye.